Hello, everybody. This is probably Red with Arcade Games. Just gonna go ahead and I got something pretty exciting I saw on the Discord. Um, and if you go to the Kickstarter for Cataclysm Arcade and you go to the Play Your Way section and scroll down a little bit. Oh, sorry. Keep scrolling, and you'll see right here there are four booster pack sized print and play sets. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick review. There's some cards that are like already spoiled on their site, but I noticed I think it's at least two from each of the booster packs from what I've looked at. Just kind of a real quick like scan over that are like new cards. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yes. Okay. So we're good. Yes. So I saw at least two cards that are new, like that I've never even seen before, or that are like just not on their database yet. So that's really cool. So we'll go ahead and give those a look. And they're themed off of the different and I got all of the tabs open right now, so it's gonna be like the scrolling's a little laggy, but we're gonna zoom in. And it's a card. It's like it's not a moving picture, so it should be perfectly fine. Once I get zoomed in here, I found that 175 kind of gives us the full card here. So we were talking about check out. I have a video that I posted. My most recent video is on the synth, and I was talking about Trapper. So basically, what you're gonna have here, and there's gonna be some spoilers. Like for like just a quick, you can already see a couple of cards here. But if you're gonna play these like booster packs with minimal looking at what the cards are, go ahead, print and play them. Turn the paper over, cut them out. Try your best to get them in there. Put them in some sleeves with some whatever cardboard you have. You have a deck of playing cards. You can sleeve them with that if you got the sleeves. You could, if you don't have any cards right now at all of any game or board game, you can stick them on a piece of cardboard. Hopefully, you have sleeves because that makes it so much easier to shuffle. But the way that I do it when I'm doing play testing for games I've designed or like doing print and plays is I just take a sleeve. You can kind of hear a sleeve. I don't have a visual on this, but you take a sleeve. I like to take land cards from Magic because they're just I got tons of them from booster packs and stuff over time. But you take a land card, and then you got your little printed out card here, and you just slip it right in the front. One thing I've noticed that if you're printing out a bunch of cards, uh, and especially if you don't want to see what the cards are, um, you can just take all of them out. You cut it down upside down. You can kind of see the shadow of the card from the back of the paper. Um, and then you just kind of cut out your different cards. Be careful if you're cutting it like with a piece of paper that's face down basically, so you don't see the stuff. Or you could just cut them out and just try not to like look at them, and still like you could randomize which pack each player is playing with, and that'll be kind of like an element of surprise there. That's one way to do it. But anyways, back to this. What I was talking about. You take out your cards, and once you have them like just like card sized, I recommend like cutting a little bit more off the top and the bottom, um, just so they will fit in the sleeve, and you can't see the like paper poking out of the sleeve. And then like take all the cards and like cut the edges of the corners off. You'll get like they'll fit in the card sleeve better. And you can stack them up and do this, and it's a lot less risk of you cutting off any information or stats from the card. So yeah, that's just a quick, I guess, audio tutorial on how to do that. I guess I could visualize here, but yeah, like when you have your stack of cards stacked up, just kind of slice off those corners with some scissors. So really, you only need like four supplies if you have a printer. Um, yeah, so you just need scissors, sleeves, cardstock of some sort. It could be a deck of playing cards. Those will fit into, I think those will fit into almost any sleeve. Let me see. I'm going to compare it to the size of a, yeah, those will fit into pretty much any sleeve. I guess it depends on what playing cards you have. If you have like a jumbo set of playing cards, you'll have to have specialty sleeves, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, so what are we doing this video? I'm gonna go over, and I guess I could review card by card, kind of like what's in each one, but that's why I said spoiler alert. That's one way to do it. Or I could look at the cards that I don't recognize from the database, but then there's a couple of the factions I haven't really looked at, so I might end up like doubling over on them. But I mean, mostly, like, first of all, this is just kind of a little like a review of the announcement, and like what, like, okay, so what is the purpose of this product? One, it's letting you play. Okay, so they already had the early bird special where you can go ahead and like order packs and play before, like during the Kickstarter while it's going, so you can decide, like, do I actually want to play this game? Is this something that I'm going to enjoy? This is even earlier than that. Like, those packs, as far as I know, haven't arrived. Like, I haven't received any packs or anything. So this lets you just go ahead and print and play test the game, kind of just like, test these cards out. Also gives you access to cards that we haven't seen on the database if you were playtesting that way. But yeah, really, really interesting. Very cool move. Definitely hype about that. So still, I kind of just clicked the record button and kind of didn't decide what I was going to do with this. I think I'm just going to like go over the packs, kind of like I'm opening a booster pack. Basically, it's like opening up 4 booster packs right here. I haven't really seen what all the cards are, except like I've noticed a couple of ones that I just hadn't recognized before. And I guess to kind of make it a little bit less laggy, I could go ahead and close these tabs out and then just open them one at a time. We'll start with the synth, because I just did a synth video, so I got those cards kind of in my mind. Now note that this is like in the booster pack style. We can go here, and this, I know I'm changing pages here, but it kind of tells you what to expect in a booster pack. I actually did a Reddit post where I was kind of like curious about how this worked, and this explains it perfectly. It explains what to expect and kind of like how they designed from the ground up how to make this game playable from a single booster, as long as everybody has a booster. Okay, so you're going to have every pack has a boss card, and then you'll get either a rules card, a token card. I don't know if that, we'll see in a second, but I probably should zoom in a little bit more on this page too. Yeah. Okay, so now this is specifically for the Founders Edition booster packs, contains 15 cards. You got your boss, you got any relevant tokens. In this case, Toolshed has their toolbox token. I could zoom in a little bit more, right? Is that good? Oh, I think I lost my spot here. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, we're scrolling a little bit. Where was it? All right. There we go. Okay, so we found our spot. Now we're zoomed in a little bit more. You really can't see the... Okay, so what if I still want to zoom in more. That should be good. Okay, that's card anatomy. Let's go this way. Keep scrolling. It's not scrolling very quickly, but this should be... I mean, this is as zoomed in as it's going to get. And then once again, play your way. Here's the links. Okay. Now, I mean, zoomed in this much, it's a bit blurry, even to me on my screen, so it's not going to be legible, but you can kind of see like the numbers and stats and kind of see what I'm looking at here. But and then this is very legible, at least to me on my screen here. So we got boss card plus that boss's token or rules card. I noticed in one of the booster packs for Sky, he's got like tips for using Sky, and that's going to be helpful for new players. I mean, everybody's a new player at this point. You might have some kind of TCG playing background, that sort of thing, or other experiences in board games and card games that kind of give you an edge in learning the rules. You might do a lot of reading of technical manuals. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that you could get better at trading card games or bring skills over and from TCGs. Anyways, I digress. So you have your boss, and then kind of seeded into these packs, you're going to have 5 common cards that play well with the boss card. So for Toolbox, whenever you have a weapon enter, you may pay 1 token to draw a card. So you're going to want weapons in there. So, and let's see in the yeah, so we're seeing weapons. There's 3 weapons right here, and then also stuff that works with weapons or enhancements, which weapons count as enhancements. So just synergistic 5 cards. So a third of the booster pack is going to make your like boss playable, which is fantastic. And then additionally, you've got 5 common cards that just aren't. They could have overlap. They could, like, look at there. There's a weapon right here, jacked hammer. And oh, I've never seen this card. That is awesome. Or at least I don't think I've seen this card. They might have had it in one of the Let's Play videos and stuff, and I just didn't kind of see it. But that's really cool. But yeah, so there could be even more synergy. You could look up and draw some synergistic cards. But 3 of those 5 commons are going to be fighters, so that you actually can play the game. So you can, like, you're not just like having a bunch of tactics and responses and not able to actually play. Oh, I almost I knocked my mic over. Okay, we're good. Sorry if that was loud. But yeah. So, and then 2 other common cards, so weapons, responses, and tactics. Okay, so that is 10 cards in. We're 10 cards in. It leaves us with 3 uncommon cards. Okay, so these were all commons. 3 uncommon cards. And I guess those, from what I'm seeing here, can be any rarity. So they're a little bit more random in their rarity types. And once again, they still could synergize. You could draw a pack that has some really nice synergy. And then you'll have 1 rare or better card. So we see the rare, like, hexagonal symbology, and then you have like this triangle with a spiked circle for your mythic rares. Ooh, this is going to be amazing. So yeah, that is the basic, like, way, like the basic template in which they've designed these packs that we're getting to test out here. So, and interesting and before I get into talking about the cube, okay, so it's still a little bit laggy. I think it's just because of the high resolution on the actual cards here. It's kind of making it laggy, and that's okay. So I guess I could have left those open, but we'll find that later. In fact, we're going to zoom back out to 125 and kind of see. Yeah, so we'll have that set there. And we're starting with synth, and we'll go from bottom up here. Synth, Survivor, Shifter, Mystic. And just kind of like we're pulling the pack, I kind of see what we have. I mean, these cards look amazing. In fact, I think I should go ahead and did I? There we go. Okay, so I found the full screen. We'll actually go to, is it? Yeah, we'll go to 200. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so starting out, we just talked about Trapper Hunter the pack yesterday. Synth boss, really like this boss. Yeah. So, oh, and I figured out what this symbol means. This crown symbol, that is just to denote that it is a boss. Since there's not a level on a boss, you just have that symbol there. So, the faction name under the character name or the card name denotes faction. Little color coded diamonds here help, and then the actual card on the different parts of the card help. Yeah, so you know that this is a synth card, and it is important to note that while you can only have 2 factions in a constructed deck in a booster battle, it's kind of like a wild format, because you can have all of these cards that normally you couldn't have, like 3 different cards from different factions. You can have them in play and like working with each other. So very interesting there. But once again, Trapper. So we got a 16 health boss. So from what I've seen, that's a little bit less. Like, I mean, I've seen 16s, 17s, and 18s for HP here. And then pretty solid attack damage from the get-go, but that attack cost, you're not going to be attacking until level 3 unless you happen to play cash money on round 1 in response to your opponent's action. If they have one, then you're swinging first turn, getting in that 3 damage. And theoretically, depending on what they played, you could be taking out your opponent's 3 health fighter on turn 1. So that is like really interesting. I really like the idea of synth survivor as a faction. Like as a faction combo. Okay, so Trapper, he is the hunter subtype. And then at the beginning of each level, if you have no cards in hand, draw an additional card. So he is like basically racing to get those cards out of his hand. He wants those low drops. That actually, once again, synergizes with the card cash money, because it's just like you're spending those responses. You're getting to take, essentially, when you do a response, from the way I understand the rules, they don't take an action. So you can do your response in response of an opponent's action, and that's basically another card you get to play. Yeah, and then getting the extra tokens from cash money makes you able to play even more tactics, so you don't have to pass early on your turn. This is some interesting stuff here. But yeah. So yeah, he's trying to get to 0 cards so he can get the card advantage. So if he can like just flood the board with units, that's excellent. Now, something to note about that, that I think is pretty interesting, is there's potentially some like dissonance or like dyssynergy or anti-synergy with his 2 abilities. Because his second ability, unless you're playing a bunch of fighters and weapons, which don't cost any tokens, it does cost tokens. The second ability here. So you pay 2 tokens and you tap Trapper to create a synth fighter token named Bear Trap with 0 attack cost, 0 attack, and 1 health. It has Enforcer, so they're going to have to take out that Bear Trap as soon as they can. And then the Bear Trap has, when Bear Trap dies from an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking boss or fighter. Okay, so whatever attacks it, it's taking damage. That gives your opponent kind of the deciding factor of how that damage is going to be distributed, which is pretty fascinating. Overall, I like Trapper. It seems crazy that if you can just like have you could have tons of like level 1 and 2 weapons and fighters and just like play out the board. Now, I guess I'm talking more of like kind of a constructed mindset here, but we should be thinking about how this booster pack is working together, because we already see Willie B. Newcomer, who is, you can call him like a vanilla. That's what I call cards that have like no abilities or keywords or anything. But in this game, the different, like you have you have 4 numbers to work with. You have your level. So how fast is this card coming out? Of course, everything has haste. So once it comes out, you can attack that turn. Then like their HP is like how long they're going to last. Then the combination between having attacks costing tokens and then have variable damage, that kind of makes even a vanilla card that much more interesting, because it kind of changes like when you'd play that card, when you'd attack with them. You want to kind of reserve your tokens for potential plays. Like if your opponent plays a card like a weapon and you have a card that destroys specifically weapons, you kind of want to have your tokens, but you want to keep taking actions and kind of deciding as your opponent's playing more fighters what to attack, from what I understand. So we're going to move on to our second card here. I guess we kind of have already. But here is Willie B. Newcomer. So he's a level 5, 5 health with 1 attack cost and 2 attack, and that's it. He's part of the Heralds. He's a survivor fighter. Really interesting card here. As far as like that low attack cost makes him basically almost every turn, especially past level 5, you're going to be attacking every turn. A little bit less synergy with Trapper, because he's a high level cost, so it's going to be hard to get it out of your hand and start getting like advantage of that. But you can protect Willie B with the Bear Trap, and kind of have that advantage there. Okay, so we're moving on to Emergency Brake. This is a 1 token cost shifter tactic. So it's not a reaction. You just play this as your action on your turn, and you get to destroy target level 2 or lower fighter. So that can be pretty interesting. It feels like a card that, like in a booster kind of battle format, you're just going to want to play this out as soon as you get the opportunity, because you don't like, at least in my opinion, because I mean there might be some level 2 fighters that are coming out later, but if you have a chance, it's kind of like if you played Magic limited, you want to just use your counter spells, that like especially niche ones, as soon as the opportunity arises. Like if anybody plays almost any non-counter spell, you're going to want to use your counter spell that counters non-creature stuff, you know. So I think this is sort of in that vein, but since it's after they play the cards, you kind of just can pick and choose which level 2 fighter. Like you can, if you're playing multiplayer, everybody can go ahead and play out their fighters that are like on level 2, and then you can decide what to do with Emergency Brake after that. So you can kind of like, who's the threat, which fighter like can attack this turn. Like if they have some, I don't know if they have 0 attack, I'd have to double check, but I don't remember if there's any level 2. I know there's a level 1. So yeah, like if they play out I think his name's Skell. What's his name? The one that has 0 attack in the Survivor faction. Let me see if I've got it. 1 second. Is it Survivor faction? Sorry. 1 second. Yes. Okay. So let's see if we can find. I guess I could have just looked him up on the screen so you can see the card too. But yes, it's a vanilla level 1 with 2 health, and he has a 0 cost attack with 1 damage. So if they play that out, and you say I don't want to take any damage this turn, you can go ahead and just blast Skell with Emergency Brake. All right. Next, let's not. Yeah, I think I overscrolled. No, I didn't. That was perfect. Okay, we're just going to use the scroll bar. There we go, because it's kind of choppy on... There we go. Now, this is the first card that I had like absolutely never seen before. So this is like anthropomorphic character from the Shifter faction, and it's some type of like bird human hybrid creature, and it's Mumbly Peg. Mumbly Peg. Okay. And it looks like she's got the in the art here, it says Bronx Zoo. So oh yes, and the world takes place in kind of an alternate timeline, New York City, like 40 years after the apocalypse. Yeah. Interesting. So, in her sub faction is the Waddle, and she's a fighter. So level 4 fighter, with 2 health, 1 attack cost, and 1 attack. Okay. So really, really not that good on the health points here. And the attack is decent, like, because it's a 1 cost attack. I mean, level 4 is a little bit late for that kind of thing, but you never know. So they can attack pretty freely. If you have extra tokens, Mumbly Peg is going to be attacking, getting that damage in. But Mumbly Peg is not a vanilla creature. She has, when Mumbly Peg enters, choose an opponent, and that opponent discards a card. Now, I've seen a couple of cards, including there's one member of the Waddle faction. Let me see if I can find who I'm talking about. Yeah, they are. Well, maybe I can find them. I think they're a level 1. I guess they're a level 2. Let's see. Oh, I thought they were in here. Maybe they're in the other pile. Oh, no, they are a level 1. Okay, so Oriana Cutthroat. They say this is another shifter fighter. Now I know I'm not talking about the pack as much as I can, but I'm just trying to say, like, when would you want your opponent to discard a card? I mean, that's kind of card disadvantage for them. Like I mean, you're basically getting card advantage because they're losing a card if they had at least a card in their hand. And then um, it's not drawing you a card, which is kind of like that kind of synergizes with Trapper because you don't want to draw cards. I mean, you do, but you would rather, if you're going to get card advantage, get it in the form of destroying your opponent's stuff or destroying their hand. So yeah, it can be really good for like if they're low on cards and like they have their high level stuff that they're getting ready to play next level because this comes out level 4. This can just destroy that before it even hits the playing field. Before they get an attack in. So yeah, so what I was talking about is like I know it's a little bit more of a constructed thing, but level 1 Oriana Cutthroat. Basically I'm just like it's a 3 health, 1 attack cost, 1 attack, similar to Mumbly Peg. But whenever a player discards 1 or more cards, Oriana deals 1 damage to target a boss or fighter. So that is one of the synergies that you can have with discarding. So discarding can actually kind of, you could build a deck around that hand destruction sort of thing. Yeah. Now, if you could make it player and then like have like kind of a recursion theme, that could be a completely different card. But this, oh, and yeah, by the way, so far we're still on the commons. Oh, no, Emergency Break was an uncommon. Okay, I was wrong. I should have mentioned that earlier. I just remembered that that is another aspect of the card. And Mumbly Peg is a common. Okay, so let's move on to another common here. We have Paya Laser Focus. We talked about her in yesterday's first impressions or first look at the synth faction. And she's a level 4 synth fighter, part of the Defaced faction. And she has 4 health with 3 attack cost and 4 attack. When Paya enters, you may destroy an enhancement you own. Still not 100% certain on what own means, but like I mentioned yesterday, I'm assuming mostly that's just going to be the cards that you have. Because there's not a lot of like taking other cards, because that would be very confusing in the whole pack battle format. And the packs are designed from the ground up, like I said, to play that format. And they are meant to be constructed too. But when you destroy that enhancement you own, you get to draw a card if you do that. So you can destroy +1 attack counters. You can destroy weapons that are attached, that are equipped or wielded. Sorry, that are wielded by a fighter in play, in play under your control. Or you can destroy a fortify, which, speaking of that, she has a response power here, a response ability for 2 tokens. She can fortify, which means she's and you can use this from your hand. Wow. So she's both I didn't realize this when I was talking about this card earlier, but I didn't realize that fortify was from the hand. I thought it was from the battlefield. That is completely different than what I understood yesterday. So you're using this as a response, and maybe it's just this one. Like I don't know. We'll get into it, but this can fortify from hand in response speed, give that unit 4 health, and that kind of clarifies that question I had yesterday. But anyways, place this card under a synth boss or fighter on your team. I'm assuming that means also synth fighter. I probably should get clarification on that. So does synth boss or fighter mean synth boss or synth fighter? It would make sense if that were the case. But this is one of the few ways, if not the, as far as, I mean, there might be a +1 attack that can go on a boss, but that would be extremely powerful. But yeah, so that is one way you can get an enhancement on a boss, by improving their health. Yeah. So that synth will gain health equal to Paya's health stat. Okay, so another card we have here, and I think this one is incredible. This is a common. This is a level 1 Mystic Fighter. Shadowcaster is their name, and they have the subtype of Artist. So they are a 3 health level 1 fighter, and they have a attack cost of 1 and an attack of 1. And they have Enforcer. So this has to be attacked before any other boss or fighter on your team if available. And then you can pay 1 token to make Shadowcaster go Phantasmal. Now, as far as I understand, becoming Phantasmal is kind of just like a name word. Like, it's thematic and also represents that it can't go Phantasmal if it is Phantasmal. So it locks that ability in to be done 1 time. Okay, so what else does it do? You put a +1/+1 counter on Shadowcaster. So going Phantasmal gets you a +1 attack counter and makes them Phantasmal. So you can't keep doing that ability for 1 token, but I mean, coming in at level 1, you still have your token. You might not want to attack for 1 this turn. Instead, you might want to power up all your further attacks with Shadowcaster. This kind of like makes your opponent focus them down. So you're investing that +1 attack counter into something that makes it even more of a threat. Very interesting. Very interesting. And the art is kind of crazy. It kind of looks like an explorer. Like, it gives me like kind of like explorer vibes with the hat and stuff. Maybe like a explorer / tourist kind of look here. And then this shadow that he is casting is actually doing the same kind of motions he's doing. So he's controlling the shadow with his powers. And that's how he goes Phantasmal, I'm assuming. That's very cool. So that's a common card. Very strong, in my opinion, for a common. The enhancer. The enforcer ability is really cool. Then this is the token that comes with Trapper, Bear Trap. So we kind of get a visual of that. Pretty creepy art. I would not want to get chased by a darn tootin' bear trap there. That is a scary thing. Okay. So we have another Mystic card. This one is also a common. It's called Mist Me. And it's an incarnate subtype. So level 2 with 3 health. And then once again, we have a 1 attack cost for 1 attack. And this one also has the Phantasmal ability. But conversely, I think I'm using that right. But conversely to the what is that ability called? I literally just read it, but yeah, it's kind of the opposite of Enforcer. We have Stealthy. So when you play a card with Stealthy, like Mist Me, you don't you're not able to. It's not able to be attacked that level. So like if you play this on level 2, they can't attack it that round. So you're at least going to be able to like boost up, and you don't have to tap to go Phantasmal. You're free to go that whole round. You can Phantasmal up, your opponents take their actions, then you get to attack with Miss Me, and you're attacking with 2. So that's pretty solid. And this art where they are getting ready to like box, like they're using the do not cross crime scene as kind of like, like fist wraps or something. Very crazy art. And then the actual chalk outline, or the tape outline, is coming to life and rising up off the floor. Very, very intense and cool looking art, in my opinion. Now, okay, so this one, it's going to be interesting to see what else we get in the pack here. And you can kind of can see what we're going to get on the next page here a little bit. But it's very tiny, so it's hard to see. But this is a card that synergizes with having extra copies of itself. So Gizzard Persistent Pest is a level 3 shifter fighter with 3 health, and they have a 2 attack cost, but a 2+ attack. And this text is kind of confusing to me, because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this means deck building. Because otherwise I don't understand like what it means. Like, is it because it's a named character that you can't have more than 1 named character, or even 2 of the same character on your team at a time? Because I'm not familiar with that rule yet. But it says you can have any number of copies of Gizzard Persistent Pest on your team. And is the team what the deck is called? Like, that rule is kind of confusing. It sparks a lot of gets you thinking. But Gizzard Persistent Pest gets +1 attack for each other fighter that shares a name with it in play. Okay. So this right now, as we see it, it's a 3 cost, 3 health, 2 attack cost, 2 attack. Neither of those abilities matter unless you somehow can clone this thing, especially in this booster battle pack. But otherwise, if you can have like if you have something that really synergizes with having shifter units and level 3 is the level you want to go for, and you just want to have a bunch of gizzards, kind of like, I mean, they're kind of like flying rats. So I guess in this case they would be. Uh, like Relentless Rats type of card, if I'm remembering it right, that gives you more and more attack based on how many persistent pests you have. You know, I haven't experienced a lot of like pigeons close hand, but I just want to, and I know some people, I guess, apparently don't really like them. But I, I kind of don't really know the difference between doves and pigeons. I mean, they're both. I'm cool with them. I like birds though, I've never had problems with pigeons, but I don't live in New York City, so I don't know what that's like. Could be terrible. This unfortunate pigeon has got himself or herself wrapped up in cables, Christmas lights, rope. I mean, maybe they're wearing it as a necklace, but yeah, it kind of does look like a necklace. Interesting. Anyways, so they have another ability. They can, in response, now this is on the battlefield response, block. Okay, so a boss or fighter attacks this fighter instead. So you can pull attacks to Gizzard to protect your other stuff. Now I wonder how that works with Enforcer. Like I wonder if like they have to attack the Enforcer, then you're like, that's not the Enforcer I wanted you to attack. Go ahead and attack Gizzard instead. Gizzard can take the hit. So it kind of gives you like an Enforcer, but you get to pick when they attack it. But then Gizzard won't be able to attack that turn. So pretty interesting card here. In this booster, it's not like the most powerful thing because you only have one copy from what I've seen. So no synergy there. But I mean, yeah. All right, so we've got another vanilla card. And I know I haven't been reading the flavor text because I already read the flavor text on those cards during their set reviews. At least I think I did. Yeah. So we'll wait until we do the first looks. I mean, there's the flavor text for you to read, but I'm going to do it during the first looks. We'll go ahead and read that flavor text out. Just so I know I've read it, and I know I haven't read it like 5 times, There you go. Now the card rules is a little bit different because we're kind of talking about how this pack is playing, and what this pack is like shaping up to be. Okay, so we got a level 4 shifter fighter from the Shambles sub-type or sub-faction. I don't know what that term. I think it might. I just saw they dropped a Reddit glossary and it might have that in there. I haven't read the full thing, but I kind of like looked at a few of them, but or not Reddit, Discord glossary for Cataclysm Arcade. So let's see. Darby Strap Hanger, 4 health, 2 attack cost, 3 attack. Okay, now that's not bad. Yeah. I mean that's pretty good. Having that 3 attack cost for 2. I mean it's just kind of like just a little bit tougher, just a little bit more damage. Like it's better than your early drops for the most part, but it's not doing anything like crazy. Yeah. So solid vanilla creature. I like the attack cost to attack ratio there. You're investing a little bit in, but you're getting a good bit out of it. It can take out a lot of different units. Now we have Steel Swipe. Oof. Okay. So this person is getting slashed bad. Looks like almost metal clawed type of feline creature. We're not talking about Murder Countess yet. We're talking about this card. But it's a 2 token cost tactic, and it deals 2 damage to target boss or fighter. But if your boss is a shifter, which in this case it is not, you would have dealt 3 damage instead. So in this deck, it's a 2 token, or in this booster, it is a 2 token cost, deal 2 damage, which is, it can be solid. It can, when your stuff's tapped out, but you still have actions and tokens and stuff, gives you an opportunity to go ahead and deal some direct damage to something. Or in the case that they have enforcers, this completely ignores that. You just go past the enforcers and take out a key support piece. You take out even their boss if it's late game. You can deal the finishing blow with some burn damage. Okay, sorry about that. Take a sip. All right. So now we have Murder Countess. Another shifter fighter. Man, there's a lot of shifters in this booster, which is pretty fascinating. So it's level 1, 2 health, 1 attack cost, 1 attack, and she's from the Shambles. And when Murder Countess enters, she deals 1 damage, or it says deal. I guess fighters don't deal their effect damage. I don't know how exactly that works. But anyways, deal 1 damage to up to 2 different target bosses or fighters. Wow. So this could kind of be the finishing blow on a couple of different units and take those out. You could just get that damage into a boss, but still like ping a fighter. I can set up a couple of fighters to be destroyed that round when you get the opportunity to attack later. And it gives you a small but effective unit to attack with for a decent, attack cost, especially for level 1. Solid card. And the last 3 have been common. I don't know if I've been reading the rarities in the last few. But now this is the second card. Oh, and there we go. We got a Cash Money. We were just talking about that card. But we have a card I also have not seen yet. And it is Farn Battle Ready. Okay, so this is a level 2 shifter from the Shambles subfaction. And she has 2 health, and then it's a 1 attack cost for 1 attack. And when Farn enters play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a tactic or response card with cost 3 or lower and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in a random order. If you don't, put a +1 attack counter on Farn. Okay, so that's a lot to unpack. Okay, so you're looking at the top 4. You're getting a tactical response with cost 3 or lower. You get to draw it basically, and the rest go on the bottom. Okay, so but since it's a May ability, you're always going to get that +1 attack counter, especially like in a situation where you just don't if you like whiff and you don't see a tactical response with cost 3 or lower, or it's just something you're like, it's a utility card I don't need right now. I'd rather have the +1 attack. You can have a 2 health fighter with 1 attack cost, 2 attack. But I mean, that can be a pretty nice piece of early card draw there, and it's actually card selection. So really, really interesting card. Now this might be on the checklist. I just haven't gone over the shifter cards yet. But either way, really cool card. Really cool. I'm pretty sure she is not on that list though. She's an uncommon. Speaking of uncommons, we've got Cash Money. We were talking about this card earlier, but it's a 1 token cost response, which is very cool, where you gain 3 tokens. This card is intense. I mean, okay, so Magical Christmas Land, you've got 2 of these, and then what's that 5-drop card? There's a 5-drop that lets you, let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it's at. But there's a 5-drop that is like, give the signal. There it is. Okay, so give the signal says, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. For each synth fighter revealed, you may play it or fortify it onto one of your non-fortified synths without paying its cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in a random order. So now I don't know if this can cheat out higher levels, but from what I'm reading, it can. So you could go turn 1, your opponent, if you're playing multiplayer especially, I mean, this would make you an arch enemy pretty much instantly on the battlefield. People are going to target you that game if you do this, but you could go ahead and play cash money in response to one of the player's actions, you're at 3 tokens because you spent your level 1 token. You're at 3. And then still not your turn yet. Again, somebody else does something. Like you're hoping 2 players do something. Then they do their action. You respond with another cash money. You're at 5 tokens now because you spent 1, went to 2, then you got into 3, you're up to 5. Then turn 1, you're dropping down, give the signal, and flooding your board with all these synths that are just not level 2s or 1s, potentially. Now, you could miss, and you would have to build your deck in a way that has give the signals, cash monies, and then a bunch of synth fighters. And then maybe you don't want to go super heavy on the actual levels of them, but it would be nice to have some, or at least a kind of a decent amount if you're going for that kind of crazy, like, I guess it's kind of aggro, but also sort of like a card combo kind of thing. Like, you can have a crazy early turn. And even late game, like, that's just like, oh. But I know that's more of a constructed thing. I just wanted to talk about this card. And in this deck, it's good to be able to have more attacks. I mean, like I was saying earlier, this can make your trapper be able to attack on turn 1 and take out pretty much any level 1 fighter from what we've seen. Okay, so then we have Ryle Unchecked. I think it was episode 4 or 5 of the Slay by Slay podcast. I think it was the 5th one. This was one of the cards they mentioned. Really cool how they kind of designed this card. But it's like this stag being. It's a shifter from the Shambles. Level 3 fighter with 4 health, 1 attack cost, 1 attack. Okay, so decent amount of health here. And I know I said 4 health isn't a lot, but after looking over the fighters more and more, 4 health is actually pretty good for level 3. It's pretty decent. When Ryle is dealt damage, especially with this ability, when Ryle is dealt damage, deal that much damage to target boss or fighter. So they're getting punished for attacking Ryle. And he has a pretty cheap attack, so he's getting in for damage and stuff, and then they're not going to want to attack him. But there's another ability here, which is kind of a double-edged sword here. Mostly it's a disbenefit, but with that ability that when he's dealt damage, you deal that much damage to target boss or fighter, it kind of synergizes. So here we go. When Ryle deals attack damage, deal 2 damage to Ryle. So what's going to happen is you swing in for 1, boom, you hit the fighter or the boss. Then Ryle's going to deal 2 damage to itself, and then it's going to deal 2 damage to target boss or fighter. So it's basically like a 1-3 attack with a slight downside of damaging Ryle. But you can also split up that damage and take out 2 things. Or if they have an enforcer type card where they're blocking your attacks from getting in, you can like get behind that. Very cool card, especially for coming out level 3. Another uncommon here. And then here is our rare or greater. We've got Grammy Picker Upper. And once again, we talked about this yesterday, but man, this card is crazy good. Only level 7 fighter I've ever seen so far. It's a synth fighter, level 7, from the Joneses. And she has 7 health, which is incredible. Attack cost of 2 with 2+ damage. So that 2+ is going to be +1 attack for each weapon she's wielding. And when you play Grammy, she can wield any number of your weapons to her. Now, in the pack, we're going to zoom out a little bit now that we've read all the cards. In the pack here, it's looking like we've got exactly 0 weapons. So that is going to be kind of a, it's not the best. But your opponent doesn't know that. And when they're playing and they see Grammy come out, I mean, it's kind of like there's kind of that odd bit there where they're like, okay, well, you played her without having weapons, but she's kind of a target. I mean, 7 health, 2 attack damage, 2 health is pretty solid, and it's something to play. Would be a little bit better if you had more weapons, but maybe they think you haven't drawn your weapons. They want to take her out so she doesn't get that +1 attack damage bonus. Yeah, it's it's a pretty late game play, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty strong. In this deck, in this pack, it's not that great, but I mean, just to have the card would be nice. You know what I mean? Just like you have the opportunity to build. If you go to a constructed format, you have the opportunity to build a synth deck, and you already have a synth leader in Trapper, which maybe not the best one for building weapons and stuff, but still really good. All right, so that's that pack. Here, real quick, we'll pause for a second. Okay, so we're back. All right, so I kind of have a... Can't actually see, as far as I can tell, on OBS how long the recording has gone on so far. But my plan now, after reviewing the first pack, is to kind of do 2 packs. In fact, I did say I was going to do the Survivor pack next, but I think it would be cool if I rolled for it to see which pack we get. And then we'll do the next as like kind of a part 2 with the other 2 packs. See if I can find a dice. Wow. Can't believe there's not a dice near my desk. Give me 2 seconds. Got a dice nearby. Okay, in fact, I have a deck of playing cards, which is going to function for a dice. We're going to flip over. We're going to split the deck. Flip it over if it's odd. No, okay. Here we go. If it's... Okay, so there's... Wait a second. I got to figure out how playing cards work for a second. Okay, so here's what we'll do. If it's heart, we'll go survivor. If it's a diamond, we'll go mystic. And if it's clubs, we'll go shifter. And if it's spades, we'll just reflip. Okay, so we got... Okay, of course we got spades. Okay, so diamonds. So we said we're going to go with mystic. Okay, cool. So, there we go. Effective dice rolling there. Sort of a D4. Kind of needed a D3, but that worked out. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the Mystic pack here and see what our zoom was set to. Once we're going to do 200 zoom. That's going to be our best bet. So you can kind of already see what we have here. It is F with me ammo. And he's incredible card. I really like that the necklace is made out of these bolt slingshot bullets that he's got. The whole aesthetic crazy. So off the rip, you know, you're pulling out your boss card first. So you know that's the one you're going to be playing with. And it's a 17 health mystic boss. Okay. So 2 attack cost, 2 attack. F with me ammo has agility as long as you have a rat on your team. Okay, so you're going to want to have that rat synergy. Well, his second ability has 2 and tap F with me ammo, and you get to create a mystic fighter rat token named Head Rat with 2 health, 0 attack cost, and 1 attack. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so this is a token generating boss here. So you're going to keep building that board state and getting these free attack cost fighters every single turn. And then from like turn 2, when you have enough tokens to do this, instead of attacking, you can just go ahead and have your rats attack for you since there's 0 attack cost. And the 2 health is kind of nice just in case you're getting attacked for your head rats are getting attacked for 1 damage. I mean, they could sustain a couple attacks like that, so it's not just a 1 health fighter. So it might just be advantageous starting with, you know, turn 2 start generating these rats, and then turn 4 you're making 2 of them. Because once you make that first one, if it can survive to your next turn, and presumably you've made a couple of rats already turn levels 2 and levels 3, then hopefully you have a rat sticking around so that F with me ammo is going to have agility. And he's going to, either way, he's focusing down your opponent's attacks on these rats to try to, you know, negate that ability. And then himself, he can, if you want to, he could get a little bit more of a damage push in if you need that extra damage by swinging with F with me ammo. So really cool. Really, really cool. yes. So he's the synergy part. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. Like okay, so let's see what kind of stuff does he want. I guess like having agility, it's going to be potential that he's going to want some way of increasing his attack. But from what I understand, that's kind of hard to do on a boss because you can't equip weapon. You can't wield a weapon on a boss. And then we're already seeing right here, Turner strap hanger over here is can only put it on fighters and only survivors too. So we'll get to that card in a second. But yeah, so let's kind of, oh yeah, okay. So then also you want stuff that kind of like helps your board since you're making tokens. Anything that helps Mystic Fighters. Yeah, so you don't actually have to put them on him. If you're putting +1 attack counters on Mystic Fighters, then that could be a really good synergy there. Okay, so let's see what they did with the pack here. Let's see what we pulled. Okay, so, oh, okay, I'm definitely not going to use that. I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to use the scroll bars. We want to get the rarity in there. Is this, I think 175 is our limit. And though it's harder to kind of see the card, but hopefully that is visible. Okay, so Turner Strap Hanger is a survivor fighter from the Van Houten, and this is a card I haven't seen yet. And I really have liked the Van Houten Survivor sub-faction. Really cool. They're like a circus group. And the glow, the shininess of the shirt thing, really awesome. Okay. So it's a level 1 fighter with 2 health, 1 attack cost, and 1 attack. Okay. And then when Turner enters play, you get to put a +1 attack counter on target survivor fighter. This can include Turner. So like if you're just playing it out turn 1, you can go ahead and have a 1 attack cost, 2 attack fighter, which is pretty solid since you can spend that token that turn to go ahead and get your attack damage in if Turner survives. Yeah. And if not, you're at least saving yourself from getting your boss attacked. Yeah. Definitely a cool card. And this is a common. Okay, so then we have the Whiskers of the Ancient. Okay, so we have a level 2 Mystic Weapon. This is a +X attack with a wield cost of 2. But when you play a weapon, it enters wielded to a fighter. So you're already going to get its benefit. And it says, oh, and this is going to be really good in the pack style battles, especially if you get all 4 factions. When the wielder attacks, it becomes the faction of your choice for the rest of this level. And the wielder gets +1 attack for each faction among your boss and fighters on your team. Now, I did notice in the Let's Play that they said there's only 4 factions in this set for the Founders Edition. But we do know that Apex exists. And in their... Oh, excuse me. My stomach's grumbling. But anyways, sorry. Back to the... More importantly... when the wielder attacks, becomes the faction of choice for the rest of the level. So Apex exists, and you can you can't name Apex, at least from what I saw. Mr. Bryan didn't said you really can't mention Apex yet because it doesn't really exist yet. So I'm assuming like once the full release comes out and stuff, and you have that 5th faction, that can be up to like a +5. Okay, so the wielder gets +1 attack for each faction among your boss and fighters on your team. So this is going to be a really solid weapon, especially you could equip it to your Mystic Rat tokens, and the wield cost isn't that bad, especially with their 0 attack cost. And having a kind of lower wield cost with 0 attack units means that you can go ahead and attack with your Mystic Fighter Rat. And then, now the problem with this strategy is like if you keep re-wielding, you're spending actions. So you kind of want to do this after your opponent has you've played all your actions out for the most part. And then, or you're saving an action, you're kind of trying to do lower cost things and kind of hold on to your tokens. But you have all these, this card definitely, I see why it's called Whiskers of the Ancient, very reminiscent of kind of a reference to the head rats here. Because you can just keep equipping to those Mystic Fighter Rat tokens, and attacking for 0, basically making their attack cost 2. But if you have 3 different factions in play, this can make it that 4th one, as long, yeah, because your boss is already Mystic. This seems like it's going to be crazy in this booster. That's excellent. I just said I was going to do that. I was going to do this, but and let's see what rarity. And that's a common. Wow, that is a crazy common. Okay, then we have Decisive Victory. Let's see. This is a survivor tactic. Deal damage to target fighter equal to the number of bosses and fighters on your team. Another common card. And once again, excellent synergy with F with me ammo. And I mean, just like if you have a bunch of rat tokens out, this can get crazy. Just like blast a fighter off the battlefield. They play their their level 7 card or their like level 6 card, and you just immediately destroy it with a 2 token cost. I mean, it's not a response, but still, you spend your action just to blast them. Like if you have all these small attacks, you're going to want access to a bigger attack with one action, and this really does it. Yeah. So don't even let your opponent get an opportunity to attack with that unit. Okay. So then we have a Mystic Fighter, Gates, Supportive Sensei. This one's a level 2 character, and they have 2 health with a 1 attack cost and 1 attack. And when Gates enters play, another target boss or fighter gets +2 attack this level. Okay, once again, very interesting. Another card that super synergizes with F with me ammo. And I was trying to figure out like things that would synergize, but this really does it. This can target a boss. So with that agility, you're getting 2 attacks in. Even if it's targeting a head rat, they're getting a 0 attack, dealing 3 damage. Like that. Let me make sure it's 3. Yeah. So they'll get a 3 damage attack for 0 just by playing Gates. I mean, that's a really cool card, and it's a common. That's pretty awesome. So it's a little bit of a damage boost there for a level 2. And then this card I have not. I think I did see this in the Polygon article I referenced in my other video. But like I didn't see it in the database yet. So this is kind of a new spoiled card here. And this is Lakay, Clockwork Hunter. Okay, so this is a level 4 synth fighter from the Endlings faction, and it looks like kind of like ancient. It's giving me like with the name and like the kind of like porcelain, glass kind of like build. And like that coat, it's kind of giving me like French, but I could be wrong. Vibes here like ancient France or something, or maybe some other, area and time. I don't know. But so they're level 4, and they're a 1 attack cost with 1 attack. Okay, so Lakay enters with 2 +1 attack counters. Okay, so there you go from the rip. 1 attack cost, 3 attack on level 4 with a 4 health backing it up. That's pretty great. Now, at the beginning of each level, you remove a +1 attack counter from Lakay. So over like that first, you're gonna want to attack with her the first time, for sure, and then it's gonna get less and less valuable over time. If you have this would be more of a constructed thing. I don't know if we're gonna see a card like this here, but any kind of ability that you have to move attack counters before Lakay removes them would be very interesting, especially like with the synergy with F with me ammo. That would just be really cool. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else we have. And that's another common. Okay, and then there we have the head rat token with their little razor blade. Jeez Louise. And they're crawling out of one of the eyes of F with me ammo's mask. Oof. Okay, and then this card I haven't seen like anywhere. Vigo the Sharp is a giant crab. Good lord, this thing. That would be terrifying. And it's a common. Okay, so we have a level 3 shifter fighter with 3 health, and it has an attack cost of 1 and it has a 1+ attack. So Vigo gets +1 attack for each player that discarded a card this level. We were just talking about discard synergy. This card has it. So it's that level that it gets the bonus. But I mean, for a 1 attack cost, if they are like, yeah, for every player that discarded a card this level. So it does wait. Yeah. So this is a card that you want to like make multiple different opponents discard cards to get the most out of it. You can get like a 1-4 attack in a multiplayer battle if you can get each player to discard something. That's going to cost a lot of resources to do so unless you have like some synergy or abilities with that. Otherwise, I mean, it's a level 3, 3 health, 1/1. And then maybe it'll be a 1/2 if you get one discard off, but alternatively, if your opponent is doing discard stuff, Vigo gets better. So that could be interesting. And that includes yourself. So if your opponent's making you discard, Vigo gets better. So that's kind of a little bit of an effect even without any other discard synergy. Okay, so we're moving on to another common. This is a synth fighter, level 2, Motriana Step Monster. She has 3 health, and she's from the Joneses subfaction. And it's a 1 attack cost for 1 attack. And when Motrina enters play, wield up to 1 of your weapons to target fighter on your team. Okay. So some weapon synergy there. Let's see. Motrina enters play, wield up to 1 of your weapons to target. So it kind of reduces the wield cost. So like basically 2 free tokens. If you have the Whiskers of the Ancients out, that's pretty cool. And then also she has 1 token and tap to wield 1 of your weapons in play to target fighter on your team. So she can kind of reactivate that ability. That's crazy. Like, I mean, so it's sort of like a discount to your weapons. And when she comes out, she can wield that weapon too. So she can just come out wielding that weapon. Yeah. So that's a pretty interesting card. It's kind of like a early Grammy. Like it's sort of like a Grammy type ability. The stats are a little bit reduced, and they don't get that plus for every weapon attached, but still really cool. Definitely a fascinating card, and we get to see another character from the Joneses, which is awesome. And she looks like she is messing some people up with that axe, and the bullets just aren't even affecting her. Okay, or the explosions, or the whatever it is that they're throwing. Okay, so then we have fish hooks. We were just talking about this. Speaking of the fish hooks. Okay. Good to have an enforcer unit. This is a level 5 synth fighter from the Marquise. They have 4 health with a 2 attack cost, 3 attack. And enforcer says this must always be attacked before another boss or fighter on your team if able. So it's kind of just nice to be able to, like, if you're going early or if you've already received some attacks, just be able to plop down fish hooks and they'll absorb some attacks, and then if it comes back around, they'll give you an opportunity to make a pretty solid attack. Okay, and that's another comment. And then moving on to Aha, which is a shifter tactic. For 2 tokens, you can discard a card. Okay, we're seeing some synergy. Real quick, scroll up. Vigo the Sharp, kind of synergizers there with this Aha card because it gives you the opportunity to boost his attack by playing a tactic. But you discard a card and you get to draw 2 cards. I mean, that's awesome. So it's card selection. It's not card advantage because you're spending Aha and you're discarding another card, but you're getting 2 cards. You're not netting any card advantage, but it is nice to have that ability to kind of sift through the deck, get through it quickly, and get to your other cards. Okay, so now we have another common card. This is a level 1 fighter, Synth. She has 3 health, and she's got 1 attack cost and 1 attack. And the first time mana becomes enhanced, draw a card. Okay, so This is going to synergize once again with the well, she can't get the survivor. She can't get the +1 counter because she's not a survivor fighter, but it does synergize with Whisker of the Ancients. Um, Seeing this doesn't count as enhanced because it's a temporary ability. Yeah, and then if we yeah with Motrina there is some synergy there, but because she can equip the weapon for free. But yeah, or for a reduced cost depending on if she's coming out that turn or using her activated ability. But yeah, so I mean, if we see some more weapons, this is going to get a lot better. Or some +1 attack counters that can enhance enhance mana. So yeah, I mean, a level 1 with 3 health and 1 attack cost and 1 damage isn't bad either. Comes out early, takes a few hits, and then it just has the ability. It kind of makes themselves a target just in case your opponent suspects that you're going to have that synergy. So that's interesting. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so we are on to our first uncommon. Rika, this is another card I haven't seen yet. Rika is first novice. She's a level 3 with 2 health and a 0 attack cost with 1 attack. Okay. And she's from the Boom sub faction. Really cool looking art here with the green energy blades flying out of this ring of magical power. Awesome. And then Armor 1. I think this is the first time on this channel we've read Armor 1. So what Armor does is Armor 1 prevents the first damage each level that would be dealt to this. Okay, so that's a great damage absorption. So even though she only has 2 health, they still have to focus on taking her out that level to actually, get through damage. Yeah, so low health, but the armor really helps that if they have to use multiple attacks. So basically an extra health every round. And then she has the response ability to block. Okay, so a boss or fighter attacks this fighter instead. Yeah, so with that armor, that could be excellent. So they're about to take out one of your head rats. She pulls in that 1 damage attack that they didn't even want to attack Rika. And then, yeah, awesome. That seems really good. Having that armor also makes her a good target to equip Whiskers of the Ancients with. Okay, so our next uncommon is a 3-cost tactic in the Mystic faction. It's called Malefice. I've never heard of Malefice. I don't know if that's a name of something. We're about to learn something real quick. Okay, let's see. No, that's not what I meant. Malefice. Okay, so this is according to the AI overview, real quick. It's an archaic noun, and this is referring Merriam-Webster. A piece of evil sorcery or an evil spell or enchantment. Ooh, okay. All right, so that's kind of like our quick look at what that could mean. Yeah, and it looks like that definitely is the definition they were going for here. Looks like this nail bat is exploding with spirits. And the Marquise right here trying to swing it. I'm assuming he's a Marquise because he's got a little heart eye patch. Looks very displeased about this. Okay, so 3-cost tactic that destroys target weapon. If it's wielded by a fighter, deal damage to that fighter equal to the weapon's level. No wonder they're displeased. Wow, okay. So this could be a kill spell in the right circumstances. And it's definitely going to destroy a weapon. So if your opponent's playing enough weapons, or even one weapon, this is sort of like what I was mentioning with like the kind of the more niche answer cards. If you see a weapon, kill a weapon, and then even if it's not equipped, you might want to wait till they equip it just to get them more advantage. If it's on that same level, you're saving your tokens, but you can still take actions. As long as you don't have to pass, this could be good. And then this is a really cool card. I want to see how powerful this card is. It's another uncommon. It seems like this would be amazing. Okay, so we got a 2 token response. In the synth faction, Signal Jam is the name of the card, and you can change the target of a tactic or response card that only has one target. Man, this would be really crazy to cast on Malefice. Wow. I mean, just like any burn spells, any destruction spells, just swap it to theirs. You're kind of getting a 2-for-1 because you're saving your unit. So you're spending one card and you're destroying, you're saving your unit, and you're potentially getting rid of one of their units if they're casting a kill spell, or you're gaining the ability to use that card for whatever advantage they were getting from it. It just has to be a targeting bonus. So you could even like they have that one that gives like +2 attack, the sensei. You could respond and make one of your units get the bonus. So maybe one of your rats, there's a signal jam, and only your rat was able to tune in and get the lesson from the sensei that they weren't even supposed to get. That would be amazing. I like that. Okay, so let's see what else. And this is our rare. Okay, and this is another card we have not seen, at least I haven't seen, at all. And it's a rare. I already said that. I got a bit excited. Level 1 rare. Okay, a Mystic Fighter with 2 health and then 1 attack cost, 1 attack, and their keyword is stealthy. It can't be attacked the level it enters play. So you're level 1, safe, good to go. Even if they cash money and start swinging with their boss turn 1, they can't do it to Yoshi. Victory at all cost. Okay. So then Yoshi gets +1 attack when attacking synths. Oh, interesting. That would be incredible against the last pack we opened, where the boss was a synth. And then you can pay 2 and tap Yoshi and then destroy Yoshi. And if you do that, you can destroy target synth fighter. So this is targeted hate removal against the synth faction. Wow. Okay. I mean, this card can get crazy. Now, it isn't a response, so you have to make sure she survives to do so. But with that stealthy, the turn she comes out, that can be really good as long as they don't have some kind of other removal. This seems like a really strong level 1 fighter. Comes with a lot of abilities. And that synth is not having a great day. They are decimated. Well, that's about it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely did. Those are some really interesting packs that they've presented in on their Kickstarter. And it's really cool that they're just accessible right here under Play Your Way. You just scroll down a little bit. So yeah, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more content about Cataclysm Arcade. Really appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.